All right, folks. Talking about something that's pretty common, and that being the holidays are here, right? We got Christmas coming up. We got New Year's. You got Valentine's Day a month later after the New Year, roughly about. Why is this such a prominent time for Hoovers, for narcissists to reach out unexpectedly, to try to reconnect with you, right? This seems to be pretty consistent, right? Most of the time, as we know it, holidays are a time for celebration, to reflect and have connections, whatnot. But they're often centered around your family, your friends, and, stuff like that. However, for narcissists, these periods represent prime opportunities to re enter the lives of old supply, right? And understanding why narcissists strategically choose the holidays to reappear can help you prepare and protect yourself and stay emotionally grounded. So let's speak on why they do try to return. Sometimes around these times, for some people, there's heightened emotions and vulnerability. The holidays can amplify emotions. For many, it's a time of joy, but also a period of nostalgia and longing for connections. Narcissists like to exploit this, especially if around the time, let's say you were with the particular narcissist that you were with for a while, and y'all did things together collectively around the holiday season. Y'all hung out, y'all went to family, y'all went to, y'all did things, right? And let's per se, these times when y'all did do it weren't necessarily bad. It triggers that nostalgia, right? Because the holiday now, they're not around, they know it, you know what I mean? So this gives them an opportunity to perhaps reach out and see where your emotional state is standing at. For example, they might send a message like, "I miss the Christmas mornings we spent together." Now they're aiming to trigger a wave of sentimentality that clouds your judgment, right? So that you can start thinking about the good times that did happen on those days, if there were any. I hear a lot of you say that there was nothing at all. And I'm just curious to that because I've seen before where people say, oh, the narcissist was just all bad, totally, there was nothing. I'm curious for that if anybody wished to share. What kept you in? What kept you dealing with them if everything was bad? Some people say, oh, the sex was bad, the company, they were mean, they were just this. What kept you in with them? What made you stick around? What made you hold on to them? If everything was bad, what was it? Right? Because there has to be some sort of incentive to want to keep someone who is 100% totally bad. All moments are bad. All connections you had were bad. Everything was bad. Then what was it that kept you around? Just curious if you care to share. But anyway, there's a desire for control and relevance with narcissists. Holidays are often like a moment when people focus on loved ones and that type of thing, celebrations. And narcissists cannot tolerate being out of the spotlight, right? And they don't want to feel left out or forgotten. So by reappearing, they attempt to reassert control and remind you of their importance, right? Remind you of the feeling that you had when you were with them at that time. Also, they're going to manipulate. There's manipulation of holiday values. Holidays emphasize a lot of times can be connected with forgiveness for those, compassion, second chances. Narcissists use this cultural backdrop to guilt trip you into giving them another opportunity, right? A narcissist might say, it's the season of giving. Can't we give our relationship another shot? Something like that. Or, how much they miss these times with you, and then mention about the things y'all used to do, the presents. Y'all might have been in matching pajamas. That's like a little trend, something like that. They might even send a picture of when y'all had them, the matching pajamas and stuff on. And they might send that just to try to trigger the nostalgia, these emotions in you, right? They're very good at doing that. And in some cases, that could very well open up the door all over again. We all know that they need that constant supply. Narcissists crave attention and validation constantly. So during the holidays, they may feel a void if they are not the center of somebody's world. And the person who they know they had a close connection in, well, familiarity at least, may have been you. Right? Because then we move into loneliness and competition. And if a narcissist is not currently in a fulfilling situation, relationship, whatever, or experiencing loneliness themselves, they may target you to fill that gap. They may also see the holidays as a chance to compete with or undermine your new situation or relationship that you form. Right? Sometimes narcissists pop back up around because they feel as though you are starting to develop some sort of new relationship with somebody else, and they just want to sabotage it. They'll often try to come back with love bombing. They may come with gifts and presents and stuff like that. A sudden delivery of flowers or cards. The old, I can't stop thinking about you, and it's Christmas, and all these type of things, right? You might get that. Now, the guilt trips, narcissists may play on your emotions by, reminding you of shared memories, or accusing you of being heartless if you don't respond. Like, if you're ignoring them, sometimes they will accuse you of being cold and rude and saying, "Oh, I always knew you was like this. This is why I stopped dealing with you." That type of thing, right? I can't believe you ignore me during a time when family matters most, and all these type of things, right? And you have to be aware of that's what's going on. You have to stand firm, because these are just tactics for them to try to get any type of door opened again so that they can get in. Another thing that comes up around this time is when narcissists start fiending a crisis, right? They'll begin to fabricate or exaggerate a personal crisis to gain your sympathy and attention. This goes on a lot, where they're going through something. And it also shows, too, if you still care or not. Because if they do pull one of these stunts and you're concerned and worried, and it gets you to engage, it's feeding them one supply, but it's also giving them a reference point of where you stand emotionally. And if you are still open to them in some sort of way, They can say something. They can be claiming that they've had a sudden financial hardship or a health scare, or something to prop you to engage, because that's what it's all about. It's about getting you to engage in with them, getting you to commit something, to open up, to commit something towards them. Yeah, that's a big one. Another thing too, if you have people in their circle that still deal with them, they'll use mutual connections to try to get back in, especially around the holidays. They might enlist a mutual friend or a family member to guilt you into reconnecting. Framing it as a gesture of holiday spirit or something like that. You know, Using a family member saying, they really want to apologize to you. Can't you just hear them out for the sake of Christmas? I miss when y'all were together. We had fun when y'all two would be over for Christmas or something like that, or the New Year's, whatever, right? So these are just angles of approach that can come up. In extreme cases, they might physically show up to your home or your workplace or a holiday event uninvited. So they'll try to force the interaction if you're ignoring them in some cases, right? Because a lot of times, they're still in communication with some of these other people that you're around in your circle. And even though you don't accept them, they're still welcomed by these people, right? A lot of this, if they do stuff like this, can reactivate trauma bonds, right? And narcissists know that holidays can bring, up memories of past connections, in which they aim to reawaken the emotional ties that kept you bonded to them in the first place, right? And with people knowing that these were unhealthy, a lot of people still fall for it. Narcissists oftentimes exploit the happy ending narrative. And society romanticizes reconciliations during the holidays. That's just how it is. You see a lot of movies and stuff like that. They might even send you a Tyler Perry movie or something like that. And narcissists play into this type of thing to manipulate you into thinking that reconnecting is a natural or even a magical choice, right? They want to incentivize that in some sort of way, but they're going to do it through playing on your emotions or manipulating your emotions. Understand that the narcissists see your resistance as a challenge, and narcissists love challenges. They love turning no's into yeses. So narcissists view your resistance as something that they could overcome eventually and get you to change your mind on. And the holidays just give them an excuse to test your boundaries under the guise of spreading holiday cheer. Happens a lot. And basically the narcissist's primary goal is to ensure that they remain relevant in your life, whether it's through gifts, messages, conflicts. They're feeding their need for attention and to keep them relevant in your mind, to live rent free in your mind. So protecting yourself, stay aware of these patterns. About this is when they pop up. You have to be mindful of that. If they happen to pop up at a function, family thing, they were uninvited, but you see that they're accepted, then you remove yourself, right? And that's an important thing, because if you allow yourself to be in something like that, again, it's going to trigger unwanted feelings. If they reach out, ignore them. But this is the time where they're active in doing this around the holidays. So you have to understand, narcissists often target the holidays because they perceive it as a vulnerable time to manipulate, control, and regain attention. And by recognizing these tactics and maintaining strong boundaries, you can protect yourself from falling back into these unhealthy patterns. So remember, holidays should be a time of peace and joy, not an opportunity for someone to reassert control over your life. Stay firm, prioritize your well-being, and celebrate with your loved ones. Anyway, happy holidays, everybody. Enjoy yourselves and have a good one.